Negotiating a higher salary can be very intimidating, especially if you haven't done it before. Knowing how to negotiate your salary is a crucial skill that you must develop eventually, especially if you're looking for a long-term, sustainable financial future. The first thing you need to know when negotiating is to do your homework beforehand. Searching for your role's salary range through websites such as LinkedIn Salaries or Payscale is key to understanding your worth. Once you have an idea of your worth, you must know your leverage. You must understand what makes you valuable, what sets you apart from the rest, and why you are irreplaceable. Maybe you are the best performer at your marketing firm, or know the ins and outs of the company better than anyone else. The point is, the harder it is to replace you, the stronger your position becomes in any negotiation. Your years of experience will also play a big part in your leverage. The more time you have in your industry or role, the more knowledge, perspective, and judgment you will have in your position. It's not all just about how much time you've worked there. It's more about what you've accomplished in that time period. I can just say that I've worked at a company for 10 years, and that's why I need a raise, or I can go in depth into what I've done for the company. All my projects that succeeded or failed, all the market changes, customer shifts, or industry trends that I've put into place. Experience should show an upward trajectory. If you've moved from junior roles to leadership, managed bigger budgets, or taken on complex initiatives, that signals trustworthiness and capability. This type of progression demonstrates that others have already recognized your value. Now you're just negotiating to have it reflected in your compensation. With years of experience also come stories of how you managed your failures and obstacles. This is one of the most overlooked aspects when negotiating a better salary. It shows how resilient you are, the lessons you learned, and more importantly, your growth through those experiences. This will all reflect your value to your industry and will continue to highlight why you are worthy of an upgrade.
Once you understand your value and know your leverage, it is important that you approach negotiations professionally. The timing of your request must be at applicable time where you have the highest chance of success. A couple of examples of good timing are after receiving a job offer with their proposal of a salary, during performance reviews where you know you performed well, after a major achievement or a successful project, or preferably when your responsibilities grow significantly, but your pay hasn't. When you know the time is right, you must always approach it with a confident mindset and a professional demeanor. Asking for a raise. Be as specific as possible. You must not have a range, but a reasonable number. For example, instead of asking for around $75,000 to $100,000, just say, I'm looking for $95,000. Always aim for about 10 to 25% above your target. This gives you room to negotiate down if needed. If they aren't ready to move up your salary, you could also ask for a signing bonus, equity stock options, extra vacation days, remote flexibility, education or training budget. If all else fails, do not threaten to quit unless you are ready to follow through with it. A lot of people make this mistake, and either they call their bluff or outright fire them on the spot. It also shows your superiors your lack of loyalty, or they might see you as a problem, which could lead to further problems down the road. Instead, try to focus on your long-term interest and investment in your company. For example, something like, I'm fully committed here long-term, and I want to ensure the compensation reflects the value I would bring. Save ultimatums for last resort scenarios where you truly have another offer or you are ready to walk away. Another major mistake people always make is comparing themselves to others. You come off as petty and unprofessional. It could also result in problems with HR or even legal problems, which you certainly don't want to deal with. But most commonly, it undermines your credibility. Instead, you should focus on you, your achievements, responsibilities, and market value. Finally, the most important part about your negotiations is your closing gratitude and confidence. How you end the conversation is just as important as how you begin, even if you don't get everything you asked for. It reinforces your character, keeps the door open for future opportunities, and shows your maturity and team spirit. Even if you don't get what you're looking for, making sure you are grateful for their time and evaluation goes a long way, and in no time, they will come around and could even give you the raise without you having to ask for it.